Whoever is happy will make others happy too. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, let me be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. What's going on? World's in turmoil. Everyone's wondering what's happening. Bitcoin price is dropping below $5,000. Stock market's crumbling. Everyone's seeing isolation. I'm not going to come out here and pretend like I got answers. I'm just like you. I'm just a regular person. I like to think that we're smart and we're a little better off than everybody else because, we have Bitcoin and we've seen the road and we knew that things like this were possible. So we've been stacking Bitcoin. The revolution is never going to be easy. It's not always about the fiat price today. We say these things. We've said these things. Time to be tested possibly on this. I see that some people can't hold their own. What is it? Is it whales? Is it exchanges? Is it leverage trading? Who knows? Hindsight's going to be 2020. I do know that there is a financial revolution at hand. As I see that the Bitcoin price is down below $5,000, I also see that every other market is crashing as well. I stand here at my house and I'm looking at my son and looking at my wife, and I see that our jobs are starting to suffer slightly. I see that my son is seeing that he may have to be home, and school switching over. So it's not normal, right? Life is not normal. Things are not the same as they are every single day. So when things aren't the same as they are every single day, a speculative asset or Bitcoin, which is not known by the masses, price fluctuations. Yeah, it's a possibility. Is it buy the dip and all this other stuff? I can't say that either. I know that I'm in it for the long term. I know that my stance has never changed. I've also done other things in my life to prepare for situations as if economic turmoil unfolds, right? That's why I live out in the middle of the woods. You guys see the background all the time. It would suck right now to live in the middle of a city. And that's obvious. It would take a pretty dumb person to say, yeah, I want to live in the middle of downtown San Francisco right now. So it's not an I told you so situation. Because this could be nothing. This could be blown out of proportion. We've seen that before. We've seen social media take things. I'm in Florida. We hear about it all the time with the hurricane situations. I ran out and had so much gas laying around that I still haven't even used it all up. So hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? It's what I always tell myself every single day. Sometimes the only thing you can do is control yourself. And when you can control yourself, all you have is, how long you can keep yourself here, how you react to certain situations. So prolong your life by caring about what you do and try to take every moment as it comes. That's the best advice Eugene Forrest has. Is here, hopefully preaching along the same advice because she's hanging out after all this time, ready to go into all of this economic turmoil, face the uncertainty, hold the shotgun if need be. It's my co-host, Sammy.
I do know how to shoot. Yay.
How's that for the bring in?
Yes.
Well, I like to have a little fun, lighten it up a bit, but still, it is that we are standing on the cusp of, are these the last of the normal days? Are things about to change up a little bit? We are definitely looking as we see the NBA, the NFL.
Or no, the NHL, the hockey,
hockey, basketball, and baseball.
Yep.
Postponing. We see Disney World or Disneyland closing.
They're shutting down quite a lot of the public gatherings and events and, fairs, things.
It's a test, right? This is definitely going to test a lot of things in many ways that they've never been tested before. This will test people and their social relationships with the people that they love and live with, because if they are on, social distancing and, personal lockdown in their homes, some relationships, I'm sad to say, possibly couldn't handle 2 weeks of, being locked in together.
What about a month or two? Yay. I mean,
I know what I do want to make clear, though, is that I did not come out here today thinking that I had the answers. But I was thinking that if we're all going to be practicing social distancing and all of these different things that everyone's talking about, and as long as the internet stays up, you guys are my friends and I want to hang out with you. And I do care about you. And I want to know what's going on in your lives. So I do want you to comment in the chat. I do want you to keep me updated. We do talk about Bitcoin and awareness and adoption. And, today is a bad day for all of that. But there's a lot of other bigger things going on in the world. So sometimes we do have to set these things aside. Sometimes we do have to talk to our friends about the important matters that are pressing at the moment. So if there are other things that you want to talk about, we are willing to talk about those as well. And I do not want to hear any of these, money meaning your life. Because there is always so much more to life than money, right?
Zaza is here. Says charts are going crazy. Paul Rulo is here. He says good evening.
Paul Rulo, my man, I'm glad that you are here, my friend, and can support the channel and everything that we are doing.
We love you guys.
I know that you guys are hitting the thumbs up so that we can get some more people in the chat. Zaza, thank you for being here, my friend. It means a lot that you're still out here. I know that you're in everyone's chat, but taking the time to stop by a small channel like ours and comment as much as you do and participate is...
Yes.
I don't have words, right? That's what it is I got a lot of words. You guys hear me rant all the time. Sometimes I don't have words. And it's for things like this. Like, I don't have words for how much it means to us.
John from Malibu is here.
Malibu, party time, my friend. Sam even has the Bud Light over here. So, I know I threw you out on the bus there. But, hey.
As you're drinking the coffee. I am going the other way.
I party a different way, to each their own.
Oh, okay. So, Ass Muncher, iPod.
All right.
Says,
iPod, no. My friend. I'm glad that you could join us.
It says no COVID in the American woods. Not at this particular moment, Mr. Muncher. No.
I do have, I have a conspiracy theory. Let's all put on our tinfoil hats a little bit. But I think that there are, from the news and the rabbit hole that I've been listening to today, because I didn't have any work, and I've been, of course, watching all of the publicity that's happening. Only 10% of Americans apparently are able to get tested that need to be tested. So we're probably looking at this as so much bigger than what we realize, that everybody out there with the sniffles right now in some way or another has it, or there are so many people that have it that don't know that they have it because they're in this, grace period, that this is why they're mandating this 2-week, social distancing right now, because they're afraid that the outbreak of pushing over the medical capabilities of handling the influx of new patients will be overthrown in the next week because everyone's about to be sick. Like right now, you're walking around fine, but it's happening inside you at a molecular level. I mean, like 1 out of 4.
I mean, yeah, but see, the other problem is okay, literally almost 30,000 people have died from the flu this year. I mean, yes. I don't exactly know how much is like hurricane propaganda typeness and how much is, like we were talking about, I feared for my grandmother. You feared for your grandfather. Like, there are age groups and stuff where it's like, you don't even have the 50-50 going on.
Right.
But in the same aspect, is that what they have with the flu? Like, if they get so I don't know.
And then that is a good point and a good question and a good, reason to bring up here is that, me and you, we're going to be fine. Majority says that we're going to be fine. We really shouldn't worry. Worrying is just, feeding into the FUD of the situation. Right. And wanting to do our part by practicing the social distancing, even though we'll be fine when we get it, is doing our part as a citizen to help protect the old so that they can handle them when they get sick. Right?
The curves.
Right.
Yes,
But then on top of all of this, it's a bigger situation, right? It's this ideal that I don't even know where we're going to go here with this. I'm getting confused as we continue to keep talking about it because we're not supposed to go on and on about this coronavirus, Samantha.
I know, and that's what it sucks. It sucks because it sucks you in. I know, Beaky, you don't care at all. He's like, I don't even think I can get the coronavirus. Blah, blah, blah. Yep.
It's the economic turmoil that's going to come out from all of this. As they're talking about the small business, right? And I'm saying as well that we're starting to feel this a bit. Nobody wants a stranger, pretty much to come detail their vehicle and put their hands all over everything and not know if they're sick. Or, that I don't even know that I'm sick, but I could be sick because my son went to the traditional Bow Hunters of Florida event last weekend and, shook hands with a bunch of people and therefore came home and got all of us sick.
We detailed somebody's car a week ago that went to the airport and some valet or somebody did something and ta-da.
Right.
I mean, who knows at this point? And that is half the problem is you don't really know.
So as we see the small business fallout, right, of the slowdown, and we see that restaurants and cruise lines and all of this, they're saying that it's going to have repercussions through the markets, right? And the repercussions through the market, is this going to be the domino? Is this going to be the trigger which sets this house of cards crumbling? Because we've seen for a long time now that the American economy is not as strong as it once was, right? We came off the dollar, or we came off the gold standard. We started practicing fractional reserve lending. We've had, quantitative easing happening for a while now. Bitcoin itself, born out of the 2008 crisis, it's just a matter of, is this going to be what it takes to tip it over? Or will it overcome? Do we got another 10 years of tricks and games and this is just a bump in the road? Well, the only way to know it is to go through it.
Sadly, no magic 8 balls work.
Right. As you can't predict the price of Bitcoin, you cannot predict how good, bad, or uncertain this will actually go.
Zaza says, I only listen to good content. You guys keep it real. I love the positive attitude. I cannot believe you don't have more followers. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want a lot of followers because then we'd definitely be on the radar. We already have enough trouble with YouTube giving us strikes. We're not in it for the money. We're not in it to get rich. We're just really out here to give back to Bitcoin because it gave to us. I mean, I don't know. I know that no matter what, I've always prepared my life for a situation of we'll be okay, right? So no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. We're definitely rich in chickens.
And eggs.
We're rich in Bitcoin, right? We're rich in family value. So bring it on, right? That's what life is about. Life is about that we're here, right? Our energy, our essence, energy, entity is here, right? And you try to prolong it as long as you possibly can. And all you can do is deflect and take in the things that occur around you.
Mr. Muncher says, I send my love and blessings from Canada.
Nice. Up in Canada. Now, see, I wonder how they're doing up there. I haven't heard much about the Canadian epidemic.
Yeah. Renaissance Novices here says, still here, can't shake me loose.
All right, my friend. I am glad that you've made it. As always, I appreciate everybody that hits the thumbs up on. I didn't write down. I literally just wrote big here on the paper what the quote was.
We just came out to actually talk and to be out here.
Yeah.
But you guys know, we're still here.
You know.
Yes. So we are still here. Everybody, I mean, it's going to suck because social distancing just means social media. I mean,
I thought I'd been practicing that most of my life. A crowd of people. I got to go this way.
It's like, whoa, you are a Facebook friend, but I don't want to talk to you in life. Yep, I will like you later. Okay. That baby is crying right now. You're going to show the cutest picture later.
Well, I mean, it's, here in the cryptocurrency space, we're always looking down the road. We're always playing game theory. We're always trying to see what the next big thing is going to be. And it's pretty much that this is going to be a stress test for society, right? And we're going to see if it's capable. And it's just that these things don't come around very often. These are once in a lifetime kind of events. So as we sit here and we watch a stress test on society and it's an unpredictable event, of course, nobody knows what's going to happen.
Bitcoin Hunter is here.
I'm sure you guys will be here, right? Yeah. I'm sure we'll be fine. Everybody will be fine. All you need is air and water, and both those things are freaking free.
Unless you're somewhere horrible. Okay, Bitcoin Hunter says
that is true. I hear water gets pretty rough in some places. I mean,
lots of additives.
We are very lucky that we have a natural spring in our backyard.
We do, yes, and our well is very good to us. Bitcoin Hunter says, let's all freak out. Everyone run. I think it'll all be good, guys. Big bump. Just big bump. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys know me. You guys know that I'm all in on Bitcoin, right? You know that right now I should be like pulling out my hair and saying, oh my God, what have I been doing with myself for the last 3 years? But I'm not, right? It's going to be what it's going to be. The revolution, I knew was going to be tough, right? I never said to myself, this is easy street. No. And I keep it. After the first year, right? After the first year, when I realized that this is about the revolution, this is about awareness, this is about adoption, this is about the big picture, I said to myself, there's going to come a time where it's going to be pretty much illegal to use Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And this whole ideal of trading Bitcoin for fiat and making your life better is not going to be real because they're going to see it as a real enemy. And it's like, I would like to think, because I'm going to live forever, that I'll be around to see it. So between now and then, there's going to be everything. It's load up on the extra bags, dump them off when you can to buy the boat so you can make your life a little better because, hey, we got to take pleasure in today. We don't get a lot of them. And realize that it's about the big picture. And if Bitcoin doesn't pay off for you, it's about the loved ones you leave it for. It's about that generational wealth, right? And it's not going to stay down here forever. I mean, come on. We're going to have to talk about massive hash rates cuts and everything else in order to keep it going. What do we got going on in the chat? What are you guys thinking tonight? I mean, it's so unbelievable that we're here and that this is happening, that it's like you're almost drunk with the disbelief of the situation.
Giles Willis is here. Says, wee, fun ride. Okay, then. Renaissance Nobbin says, it's unfortunate to see how many people in this space aren't hodlers. Oh, well.
Yeah, but see, the question is that do you actually know? See, this has always been kind of my thing. Do we actually know what the price of Bitcoin is? We know what the price of Bitcoin is based on what the exchanges tell us. The exchanges we know are bot trading back and forth, a whole bunch to create liquidity. We know that there's like 10 of them, 7 of them that we can trust. So it's kind of always really, is the price much more than a speculation at the moment? Bitcoin adoption and awareness is actually really low. This is why we're always talking about it. People that are out there using Bitcoin on a daily basis to buy milk, bread, and eggs to support their daily lives and make it better because the cash that they have from their country is a worse alternative than Bitcoin. It's very small. And up until the point of us being able to get the world or some country or people like this using Bitcoin for these things, we're still just working on the back end. So the ideal that you're going to take more money or money at all, and you're not just out here getting an education, means that you're gambling on the fact that you would like to make a future on Bitcoin becoming worth something in a fiat value. You know, I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the fight. I'm here for the revolution. I do have money staked in it, but those are choices I made. Not everybody has to make those choices. You can be here without having Bitcoin. They have no coiners, right, that do support Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like the non-vegetarian that still likes PETA. You know, like yes, you're allowed to still nibble the cow and want to save it all at the same time. You know. All right. So Norm says, how long do you see this crypto crash happening? Days, weeks, or months?
Well, I definitely don't see it happening for months. I mean, weeks would be kind of tragic and very hard to handle and swallow. Days, realistic possibility. You know, when we see big dips like this, there's usually a correction fairly quickly. But the problem is that at this point in time, you know, we haven't seen big dips in the cryptocurrency market like this in quite a while. You know, everybody's going to easily point back into the charts and say, oh, well, Bitcoin's done this on this date. Bitcoin's done this. I've been here 3 years. And up until when I first got in Bitcoin, Bitcoin has not done crazy stuff like this in a while. Yeah. That's why I always talk about how the volatility is starting to come out of it, which is a big plus for the merchants. So having a big dip like this, there's a reason. That takes hindsight. So, you know, Eugene Forrest, guy in the woods, don't have the answer. I just know that I can read between the lines a little bit, and I'm saying that I'm not going to buy the dip. I'm not going to sell. I'm still invested where I was. This doesn't change my mind, but I might pick up some extra rum.
Vengeance here. He says, yeah, pretty bizarre day. Clearly a massive reaction to the virus issue. Glad I held off on buying. I'll wait a week or so for the bottom out. Jim is here. He says, Eugene, long time.
Nice, right? Nice. Beaky, you're getting involved, aren't you?
Jim also goes, was that a turkey gobbling or was that some fool selling BTC? Well, Jim, Beaky really likes you, apparently.
Yeah, he's right here. Well, of course, keep commenting. Please keep asking questions. I have no prearranged story. This ideal was to come out and hang out with my friends tonight and let you guys know that you're not alone, right? That's the worst thing that I've always thought is nobody wants to be alone. You know, we all need to connect with each other. And I wanted to let you guys know always, you guys are my friends, right? We keep telling you that you guys mean a lot to us. And this isn't fake. This isn't something that we're lying about. You really do. We don't have a lot of friends in real life. We do come out here because we care about you. And when we see stuff like this and the market's crashing and all these other things, we know that some people are overinvested. We know that some people are trying to change their lives by gaining new skills and abilities of trading and all this other stuff that's happening out on the markets and through the Bitcoin blockchain of gambling. And it's not necessarily the right path, in my opinion, and they're still figuring it out for themselves. This stuff really wrecks them, right? And we want you to know that it's going to be okay. It's part of the journey. It's part of all of this. Every day can't be a great day.
Renaissance Novice says months, maybe. The disease is going to keep getting worse for months. But people might start jumping into to Bitcoin. So I'm not sure if it will stay down all that time.
I mean, it's such a wild card right now to try to predict what's going to happen in the future. Because you could easily go with the ideal of say, oh, well, everyone's going to be locked in the house and starting to do internet research and the internet's going to go crazy. So they're going to find out about Bitcoin.
Right? As everybody doesn't know what the hell to do with their time.
Or, I mean, with the same flip of the coin, everybody using the internet, all of a sudden Amazon and Google and Apple and the major corporations gain so much more power because they gain even more of a lock on everybody's life. I mean, seriously, tell some people they can't look at Facebook for a day.
God help me. Some of them get real twitchy. Giles says, oh, do we want some coronavirus inspired stickers, and then he emailed us and never heard back, but he figured we got busy. Oh crap. Oh,
I showed you those pictures.
Oh my God. Okay, Giles.
Remember the black and white ones?
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we will have to actually. Yes, I remember that email. Damn.
I don't know what happened. I am sorry, but man, I remember downloading them and looking at the photos and showing you and saying they were pretty cool.
Sorry. Horrible.
Like I said, we're just regular people. We're regular people.
He says, yeah, those. I didn't even do stickers. Oh, my dear God, yes. Oh.
I mean, like, all right, just our lives, right? Samantha was, saying, do we worry? Do we go fill up the cars with gas? Do we take the hurricane preparations? And it's like, no, not yet. Really, we're not there, of course, right? There's no National Guard or martial law. The supply chains haven't been disrupted. So there's no freaking toilet paper. Who cares? That's just people being stupid and not knowing what to do.
Oh, well, Jim says that he is selling organic toilet paper for worried people. We used to call them leaves. Now, do they come with or without the caterpillars?
My sister dated and married a Saudi Arabian, and for the longest time, I used to wonder why they had a water pitcher next to the toilet in the bathroom.
Yep. Bidet, whether there is a bidet or not.
Yeah, like you're gonna water your plants. Yep. I was like, whoa.
Water your butt and your middle.
Well, paper is a precious commodity over there.
It is. It is. I mean, desert, how many trees? Let's think. All right, Jim says, if the Fed pumps money into stocks, dollars will deflate to next to nothing. So hopefully people will realize the value of BTC. I mean,
all right, what I heard today is, we all watched the president, right? We watched him come out and give his address. And then I watched earlier today Congress, right, and the Small Business Act. They're just going to give loans. They're going to they're going to mail out. I don't know for sure, so don't quote me. Don't get all mad. But it's sounding a lot like they're going to mail out those Obama kind of checks where everyone's going to get $500, and then they're going to allow a bunch of small loans and stuff like that to businesses to be able to help. Is it really the fix? Like, we're just slapping a bigger Band-Aid on a problem of the governmental, financial system not working. So let's just loan out more money when we already don't have money. We'll see, right? We'll all see, because a lot of people didn't think that we'd make it as far as we have already 10 years ago, right? And here we are. So I never like to say all of a sudden it's going to become Mad Max style. It's like that's kind of a little far-fetched to say it's going to be Mad Max. But
Beaky also does not agree.
Yeah, it's not going to be Mad Max.
No.
So, it's always right the middles. Find the middle of the road.
Vengeance says, really? I try to keep my vehicles half to full.
Oh, not Sammy. She likes to run him down in nickel and dime it.
He says that he still needs to top off his gas cans. Okay, now you sound like Eugene. Yeah. Jim says if they do that, I'm using my $500 to buy Bitcoin. There you go. Smart thinking.
Well, I mean, this is one of the things we had discussed earlier, is that a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. So now when you look at places that are going to be closed down for 2 weeks, not having a paycheck for 2 weeks, that's a half a month. Well, I mean, that is your entire rent. That's your entire mortgage. That's your entire food budget. That's your entire, that's half of your livelihood.
Yep.
So when you don't have half your livelihood for a month, not everybody has credit, especially not enough expendable credits in order to put half their livelihood for an entire.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
15 days on it. So, it's sticking a Band-Aid on it it's like all of a sudden you're taking a cog out of the machine because it's broken. Right? It got sick. It didn't work. Well, you want the machine to keep spinning, so you got to stick something back in there. Well, they're just shoving in a little plastic one. and it's in with the metal parts and it's spinning and it's going to work possibly, but how long is it going to work when they stick it back in? We're not there. We haven't even had the metal one taken out that's not working right. We're just hearing the squeak starting on it. And we're starting to develop the plan of what are we going to do with this cog here that's squeaking? And it's like, okay, we are going to pull this out quickly and shove in this plastic one that we've 3D printed.
Oh, nice. 3D printed. Norm says the next global crash years from now won't be a virus. It'll be an EMP taking down the internet for God knows how long. I like your Skynet-ness. Yes.
Solar flares, right? And those things are very unpredictable. We don't know very much about them. It is very simple and ideal to think that there could be a EMP based on a solar flare.
Right.
Taking out internet and all electrical devices on Earth for days, weeks, hours, months.
Jim says food budget. I think I hear dinner at your feet. I know, man. Biggie won't shut up. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
And that is kind of one of the things I keep leaning towards is, it's funny because there are pets and stuff, but it is that, I do have the capability of turning out chicken.
Oh yes, we have lots.
So it's like you're never broke. You're never broke if you can make food.
That is true. We wanted to do the whole fish farmery. I don't think that's the actual word, but like
a hatchery. With the tilapia and stuff, because I don't like catfish. I don't really like tilapia. That's the big problem. That's why we never really did it. Is the fish that you raise at hatchery are not fish that I enjoy.
Yes, because they are shallow, warm-watered fish. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yes, because you're from up north, and I mean most of the fish that we caught were in Alaska, so they were also cold water fish. I mean, I'm okay with that. I do not like catfish.
Beaky.
Vengeance says aquaculture. Yes. Yeah, I know. But see, then the problem is, Vengeance, that I name them all. I would name them all. I'd be like, you see that one with 2 dots? That's that one.
I don't know. Maybe it's the waiting game, right? It's the fact that if you were going to do things in your life to prepare for this kind of a black swan event, you should have already done it. It's too late to do something about it now, but you see it coming and you just have to sit there and watch the impact happen. And it's like, that's the hardest thing to do. Sitting around doing nothing, watching a disaster coming at you is the hardest thing. Because you are powerless against it. But of course, human nature is to not want to be powerless against a situation. So you reach out in all of these different ways trying to see some sort of power over it. And you can't.
It is going to be what it is going to be. Renaissance Novice says, don't freak out, but BTC is down 13% in the last hour. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Noise.
Those of us who are believers will be able to pick up some serious Satoshis.
I mean, you're talking like, what are you going to do now? I mean, you're going to do something right now. Let me bust open the hardware wallet. Let me send it to Coinbase. Let me turn it into cash at a loss. Break it. Let's go to 0 right now. I mean,
it will be okay.
At this point, if you haven't done anything by now, F it.
All right, we're good.
So I guess that's going to be it then, Samantha. How long we been out here?
We're good, 34 minutes.
All right. Well, I mean, if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, I just wanted to come out and hang out with my friends. I wanted to let you know that the world's not coming to an end. We can still get together. We can still hang out and have Bitcoin and coffee. We can still keep fighting the good fight and talking about, how cryptocurrency is going to take over the world, and we're going to change it with financial revolution, and it's no longer going to be this endless printing of fiat that they do, and that all of this is just uncertain times. Right. And it'll all be hindsight eventually.
And it's a drop in the bucket.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a good test for Bitcoin. We're going to see how the honey badger does here. We're going to see how the adaptations of Bitcoin turn this to become more stronger, because every time Bitcoin is attacked, it becomes more resilient. We've definitely seen that. And this is an attack of a completely different sort, which is global disaster of a biblical proportion, right? People all over the place are talking about this and shutting down travel and economics and everything else. So yeah, this is a big event. So let's see how Bitcoin does with this. Don't go selling. Don't go trading. Try to have a good night. Don't stress out about this. The most important thing is you and your loved ones and keeping that BTC safe. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.